Well, we're going to talk about the silver market a little bit, not much. Well, I'm going to mention it because, what's going on. Also, some things that I bought at a dealer friend of mine and a few other items that I bought during the week. I want to share that with you. But we're going to talk about what's going on right now, and it's kind of scary. So stay tuned. So do come over here and check out portsmouthcoinshop.com, which is my retail website for my coin shop. Um, I've got a lot of coins on here that silver value doesn't really matter that much because they have a numismatic value. I also have some 90%. I haven't really adjusted the prices yet because it's still costing me the same so far, unless I have someone walk into the shop with some stuff. I'll do the best I can. So anyways, if you get a chance, visit my website. Well, today's a very sobering day. So was over the weekend. The silver market's in decline. I can show you right now. The last time I checked kit code this morning was 1224, and every time I refresh it, it seems to be going down. Now, I don't know how much further. It's at 1181. Just refreshed it right here, pretty much. I just recorded this video this morning. We're looking at under $12 an ounce. The last time silver was this low was pre-2006, in the 2006 range, I should say. This is really unprecedented. And I can tell you something right now. I've done videos on, why dealers melt silver, or they do melt on gold and silver, why I don't trust the market, and why you don't want sharp declines in silver or gold, even sharp increases, I should say, but sharp declines are just as bad. It's a telltale sign that there's something really bad going on that you don't want going on. And we have something that is really bad that's going on. And, like I said, I'm not going to make this video about this, but like I told you before, you don't want this. This is not what you want. Okay. You want a normal market. Okay. You want it to normally rise. You want it to normally fall and ebb and flow. I will say this, but all of that's being sold here. I've been getting emails from S&D Bullion. S&D Bullion sent me an email saying that they just had the biggest week they've ever had in the history of their company last week on people buying. Same thing with APMEX. Their actual demand for their products, their silver and gold coins, is up so much that they have delays on shipping. So I, for instance, am having a really good month, and so are other dealers that I've talked to that sell to the public. So it's not the physical demand of the silver; it's the paper. I mean, people are selling their ETFs, and that's what you're seeing. So the melt value, or the market that you're seeing, that's $11.81 right now, is what paper's worth. Now, don't get me wrong; it starts to catch up. If it stays down too much longer, then it does start to catch up with the physical silver, and you're starting to see that some prices are being adjusted. Here, I just went and I bought as much as I could buy from the dealer that would sell it to me yesterday. I saved it, bought the rest of his Mercury. That's all he had, Roosevelt dimes. He said he had someone come in and buy $400 face Franklin half dollars, wiped him out. Here's some Mercury dimes. This is all stuff that, I went and I cherry picked. I went through it. I'm going to show you a little bit. Here's some more Walkers. And I bought some type coins, things like that. So I'm going to show you that. Man, I'm telling you, it's I don't really know where this is going. I don't know what this is going to cause, but there's just so many factors at play here that's causing this to happen. But like I said, I don't trust the market. I don't care what anybody says. You can say what you want to say. You can tell me wrong. I don't care. I don't trust it. Here's a couple coins that I bought. Okay. This one here is a 1913, and it's got a cracked holder, but it's genuine. They've all been tested. An AU55 $20 gold piece. Now, this was supposed to be, possibly, was going to be a trade. And, now, I mean, I've got way more than melt in it. Even though it's already worth a little more than melt, I still have more in it than what they were selling for now. Or at least I haven't checked to see what they're selling for. And this one here is 63 plus. This bullion shouldn't even affect the value of this one, but I'm afraid that it's going to. It's a 13D. It does have a little dark mark there on the side, as you can see right here. But as far as that's concerned, it's still a nice looking coin. I have this up on the website. I have it for $1,700 or best offer. Like I said, I'm not selling it for less than melt. I'm not going to sell it. I don't even know if I'm even going to sell these. I'll probably stick with coins that the numismatic value is still there. Like I said, I don't know what this is going to do to everything. I really don't. And then here, I bought this. It's a 19040 mint state 65. And I guess what we need to do is we need to remember that this market, all intents and purposes, should recover. It is a good time to buy if you can get silver low. It is a good time to buy because I'm sure, it's going to go back up. But it's not, like I said, people are just, this has to blow over, and you don't know how long it's going to take for it to blow over. What we need to do is we need to not panic. We need to, think, okay, we're buying coins to collect. It's not really so much as an investment. And like I said, it's funny because I've done all these videos, all through this last year on this subject, all these subjects. You can check my videos out and see what I've said. And, like I know, I've watched it all my life, and I'm not an expert in investing. I have invested in all that, and I read a lot of articles. I'm not saying that. I'm not giving investing advice. I'm just telling you, I watch it. I've seen it. I've seen silver down to $3, $4 an ounce. I've seen, I've watched it go up to 50 almost, or 50 back in 80, and then I watched it go back down. And in 2011, back up to 40 something. Like I said, I've seen that, So anyways, I bought a bunch of these mercury dimes like I showed you. Now I can go through and pick out some of them. There's a few calls in here, but not very many. But I paid $1.30 a piece. I paid 13 to 1 yesterday. Okay, so pay over melt for them so I can have some in stock. I haven't changed my price on the website. I'm gonna have to go down a little bit. I know that. These is typically what's melted, and I got as many of those as I could. That's all they had left on those. And of course, I got a big old $100 face value bag of walking $half. And there's some decent ones in here, and I went through all of it, and the ones that I did pick out here, I got some pretty nice ones. These are, extra fine to AU. Most of these are that I picked out. As you can see, they got little areas of concern on them, but like I said, you can sell these by themselves, and typically melt value doesn't really matter with walkers for the most part. It does when it drops like this. It does affect the value. I get that, but we'll see how much it affects the value. Because like I said, that's mostly people trading the paper. They're selling off paper and all. There's different things going on. Mines are doing limited production because of this virus. Okay. Caterpillar sales are down. Just different things are going on that affect everything. Okay, this all affects everything. It's not just about one thing. It takes a lot of things to do what's going on right now. So I want to show you a few things that are actually better coins that shouldn't be affected unless it stays down for several months. I can see this coming down in maybe a month or two. But I bought a 1851 3-cent silver. For those of you who maybe haven't even seen one before. See that? 1850. And one of the few 3-cent silvers that actually has a mint mark on it. So you can see the little O there from New Orleans. That's a nice little coin. So I bought another one, 1852. Not all of these have mint marks. When they don't have mint marks are Philadelphia mint. So we can get it close enough there, everybody can see the details of it. So I bought a couple of them. Also got a 3-cent nickel, and this one here, pretty nice looking coin. It's got some nice details to it. And being the smaller coins, it's like the 3-cent, and what they call these 3 cents. They call these trimes, fish scales. They've got nicknames for them. They were the smallest coin the U.S. minted. It's hard to see it here, but it's 1864. And you have large motto and small motto, and I have a large here, so I can't really show you the difference there. I do have examples on my website pictures that you can see to compare. The small motto in 1864 is worth a lot of money. It's worth a little bit of money there. So, and then a lot of people don't realize it, but 1918 some of the teens, if you can get them in fine and up, very fine range, in the walking half dollars, they're worth a premium. And some people, though, they misgrade them a lot. This one here is real close. I mean, you're really looking at the basically the gown over top of the breast area. The more defined it is, the higher the grade. That's just one focus key area on it. And then you got the eagle on the back of the breast feathers there. Sometimes it's typically weakly struck and all. They're not there much. So, like I said, it's got enough details to be, really close to the very fine area. Photo grades, I recommend a photo grade. I got a 1916, which is a key date. It's not as good as the 21, but it's a nice original coin. The 21Ds and the 21Ss, those are the better years for these. But this one's pretty good shape. The date, and a lot of times the date on these wear out really quick. They're not all there, partial dates and all that. When you get a full date on in the 16 and the teens of the Walking Liberties, it's pretty good. That's what you kind of shoot for if you're filling sets. But a couple seated half dollars. I had a few of these up on the website and they sold out. And I didn't mark these prices on them. These prices come from whoever bought them before me. They're nice coins. 1958. And then the reverse of that. They're just nice. I mean, I like the seated coins. Of course, I like any coin. Yeah, even the silver dropping like it is, I still like these coins. Like I said, it's not the first time we've seen silver down, so. And we're going to check silver and see if it drops any more during this video. There's a flying eagle here. 1858. I mean, they're just your normal stuff you see all the time. It's got a little bit of damage there on the back, a little divot in it. And then here's some other, I bought some cat buttons. I got one 1835, and then I got another one here that is 1829. Pretty nice. And then here's this one. Yeah, they're nice looking coins. These are great for typesets. You can go through dealers and you can get their, you can always go through and pick out the best ones that they have, put them in your typesets. You can see it right there. It's really nice. And it's just original. That's the kind of thing you see. And you don't know how many hands since the 1830s have handled these coins. But they somehow survived. A lot of them you find are damaged. A lot of them have issues, have been cleaned and things like that. But, I got a 1834 as well. So this one here is actually, those are half dimes. These here this is actual dime. A little bit larger, but it has 10 cents on the back. You see the 10 cent there at the bottom. So those are nice coins. I got a seated dime, which is your normal typical coins you find. I'm always buying if I find a problem free for a good price. I already have some seated dimes in stock. I also got a really nice 90cc. It's got some nice details, very fine. Anytime you get CCs for a good price, you want to make sure you get the CCs. Here's a 92S. A few of these, I know some customers are probably going to need them, so I bought them. Here's a 1903S. Now this one here has toned up a little bit. It's not been harshly cleaned, and maybe it might not have been cleaned at all, but it looks like it might have at one time in the past. But it's nothing harsh. There's no clean lines on it or anything like that. It actually looks like a nice coin. I went ahead and picked it out because it's an 03S. And, it's in very fine condition. So it's low very fine, like very fine 20. So I got a couple more to show you here. I got a 96O. And anytime I can get 96Os and AU, I want to show you something here. This is what I want you to look at. The 96Os, people take coins like this. They will dip them out, and they'll throw them up on eBay. And they'll call them BU or AU58. Okay, this is not an AU58 coin, but I will tell you this. I'll show you something. It is an AU50. If you look down at the bottom, if you go to Heritage, you can look at all this. You can hardly see them in there, but they're still down here at the bottom of the feathers on each side, at the bottom of the breast. If I can show you here, are still some remnants of the feathers. Okay, when you see that, now the 96Os are not known to be struck, really well for the most part. They don't have great luster either. They're known for that. Okay, well, when you see the little bit of breast feathers in there, you're looking at a coin that is AU50. Some people might call it an extra fine 45, but it's in between that for sure. It's just going to be dependent on who the grader is. This coin to me is an AU50. So, like I said, I got a few more seated dimes. I showed you the seated dimes before. They're really common. But then I got this one here, and this is, it's a nice coin. It has a little bit of an issue on the obverse. I don't know if you can see it in the image here, but I wanted to show you. See if we can get it. It's kind of dark. Can you see it? It's a little discoloration, but it's an 1804, and it's a half cent. I know I bought it because it's an 1804 half cent, and I don't have very many. It's called the draped bust. And, these are desirable coins. Like I said, I didn't mark all these numbers on it. I'm not sure what I'm going to price it at. It's going to be close to the $100 range, I would say. I'm sure people are going to want that. This is the stemless. When it says stemless, on the back, you've got the wreath, and there's a ribbon. Sometimes the ribbon will have stems coming out. I mean, that's, then you've also got the, what they call the plain 4. And the plain 4, it doesn't have a serif down where the 4 goes across. And, that's another thing. And the crosslet 4, if it has the crosslets, what they call that. So there's little things to know about it. I mean, it's interesting if you read about it. So anyways, guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to change the screen over. We're going to take a look at Kitco again and see if anything's changed, because we saw it from the beginning of the video. We watched it where I was looking at it before and it dropped. So I don't really want to look, but we're going to have to. I got to look. I got to know. So let's see what's going on here. See, you saw it. You saw where it was at. Now it's jumped back up to $12.61 an ounce. So like I said, dealers like me, small guys, even some of the big guys, I mean, when you're buying, I mean, someone walks in and they're like, man, it went up to $1. Can't you pay me more? Or, it is what it is. It's hard to change buy prices overnight. It's hard to change them in an hour. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. You do the best you can. So guys, hopefully this is interesting for you to watch and understand why I did the videos I did in the past and what I was trying to say in my videos when I'm talking about the silver market. So thanks for watching my latest video. Please like, share, and comment, hit the sub, hit the bell, and have a great day.